Yeah, between two burns. Between two burns, yeah, between two burns. Come and join the convo. Jason and Ethan here to talk, yo. Chillin' while we filling up the room with cigar smoke. Hey, between two burns. Between two burns, yeah, between two burns. This be the show that you like. We always keeping it hype. We got cigars in the mic, talking the pipe and the pint. Let's go.
All right, we are back. Between Two Burns.
Do you know the theme song yet? Between Two Burns. Can you sing it all by heart?
No, I cannot.
Does Josh know about our theme song?
He told me he's seen the podcast session. I don't know if he's heard the rap song that enters.
I don't think I've heard that rap song yet.
Yeah.
Between Two Burns. No, I don't know it. But I should really know it by heart. That's a bit of a
Jason
shame
paid somebody on SoundCloud to make us like a theme song. It's like
a 30-second
Nice.
intro rap. It's very good.
Yeah.
I got paid
Surprise.
to do it now.
For $50 spend on Fiverr, it's
Oh, yeah.
about
Fiverr. Not
as good
Fiverr,
as you
Fiverr.
can.
Fiverr's the best for
Dude,
stuff
I
like
use
that.
Fiverr all the time.
I haven't been on it in a while.
Yeah.
but
So we are in with, as always, Mr. Botts. We have special guests. We are Between Two Burns Roadshow today. We are in, is this Huntersville?
This is Charlotte.
This is considered
This is
Charlotte.
This is City of Charlotte.
Brand new Burner's Bottle Shop, the one and only Mr. Josh here, owner of Burners.
Yeah.
Third location, correct?
Number 3.
Tell me a little bit about this one first. We'll start there.
So, Burner's Bottle Shop was a kind of new concept. A little steal from you guys too, trying to expand into the beer and wine side.
Yep.
You know, cigar business has gotten, it's changed over the years. This is year 20 for me in the cigar business, but kind of watched it
Is it really?
change.
Is it
Yeah,
really?
this is 20 years. I started working at my main shop in end of 2005. So
Really? I didn't know it'd been that long.
out of high school. So so over the years, like you've kind of seen things develop. You know, lounges are harder to do. More landlords don't want cigar shops in there, thanks to the vape companies and the vape shops. But I knew we wanted to expand a little bit and to do something different, offer beer and wine, have more of an atmosphere where we could get a broader customer base. More women, more people to come
Correct.
in and
Yes.
enjoy.
Service somebody than just the
cigar
old
guy,
guy who's the cigar guy.
Yep. So this was originally still going to be Burner Cigar Company, and in our lease negotiations, they didn't want anything with tobacco, so we said Burner's Bottle Shop, and they jumped on it.
So they literally didn't want it even on the
They
signage.
didn't want it in the name.
Really?
So
That's
I said, well,
interesting.
But no problem with it. It says cigars out there. That's
yeah, I
that's
think
a
during that
forgiveness
part they
and
were
permission.
kind of
Gotcha.
fine with. I was like,
Yeah.
we negotiated in our contract hard to have the patio for smoking, and I was like, we're still going to have it outside, and they were fine with all that. Same concept we were going to do, just a little tweak on the name.
Yeah.
But it ended up being a good thing. I was really happy with it, making the change just because it gives us more access to customers. People that are looking for beer and wine, maybe not cigar customers, or bottle shop seems to jump more towards them rather than just cigar company that sells beer and wine.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a necessary change. And actually, the original name concept was going to be the Bottle Shop by Burners.
Okay.
And after a conversation with Michael Herklotz last year,
Oh.
he kind of gave me the idea. He's like, keep Burners as your primary. He's like, that's your name. That's kind of what
it carries
he's like,
the
that's your
brand through for sure.
That was how we ended up with Burner's Bottle Shop.
I like it.
Keep it simple. And
So we were just made mention, like you said, you've been in the business for 20 years now.
Yeah.
This is third location. So for those who are listening, there's plenty of people who know who you are, but the one in Birkdale Village is the original. That is what I think people would come to expect as a traditional cigar shop, smoking area, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, traditional as you can get. Yeah, It's got the lounge.
Do y'all sell liquor there, or is it
We don't.
BYOB?
BYOB.
It is BYOB.
It's a brown bag. Yeah. Yep.
And that was, up until the last really year and a half, the only way we could really have alcohol in there. We're not in a freestanding building, so we
until
wanted to
the-
keep it for the
The
customers.
adjustment in the law.
Without
now
going
could, but,
private
yeah.
club and doing all this
Yep.
stuff with the state. So it's a great benefit for our customers that take advantage of it. And
Yep.
it's
And then second location is in Denver. Is
Denver,
that the
North
address of
Carolina.
that one? Is in Denver. That's beer and
Retail.
wine there. There's not beer and wine there. That should
no beer and wine. That we're considering that there. It's retail only. It's
retail only
now.
cigar place.
Yep.
And then we're into the beer and wine here. You spent all those years because the last two stores have all come together in the last 18 months, 24 months, really?
Yeah,
That's 2
going
years.
from one to
three
one to
fast.
three, and right at a year.
Yeah. What are you finding as your biggest challenges moving from the kind of what you know so well in the cigar piece to now servicing some other customers? Because obviously your cigar folks are purchasing beer and wine, stuff like that, but you're going to get a lot of people that have no interest in your cigars here.
Yeah.
Who are strictly here for the beer and
Yep.
wine. What's that been like, kind of adjusting to that customer base?
The customer base, one is just learning what customers like, learning what customers are searching for. Kind of came in with a little bit of blinders on. I thought about, the cigar industry. You look at, we look at a price sheet from one of the big companies like an Altidas or a STG group, and you're like, man, they got a lot of SKUs.
Yeah, yeah.
And I opened up the first price sheet when I got it from one of our distributors who was kind of in the middle, and like 7,000 SKUs of wine.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. We got a lot of,
You got
so
a lot
it's
of
like, all right,
looking to do.
yeah, how much, what are we going to focus on? What are our customers looking for? And I use a lot of analytic stuff to kind of get us a gauge at the beginning, but even still, it takes the time to, we got a running list behind the register up here that we keep of like stuff people ask for. Like, hey, we'll write it down. If we can find it, we'll try to bring it in for you. And like,
have you found, I mean, obviously you're working on a smaller sample size, but have you found a pattern yet? Are you seeing like, we were just talking to gentleman who works here with you. We're kind of talking about our space, and we were letting him know, like, most of the wine that we sell is to our cigar consumer.
Yeah.
So a lot of our wines reflect what guys smoke. And we talk about this, him and I talk about this all the time. Cigars and wine, not that different.
no.
Right?
Leaves and berries.
Leaves
Yeah,
and
we
berries
always
types
say.
of things. But you have people, your Connecticut smoker and your Chardonnay drinker. You got your triple Maduro smokers and your big, bold Cab Reds.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything like that yet, or are you still kind of sifting through that a little bit?
We're starting to notice the trends on which ones are moving, especially for our fuller smokers. I mean, California Cab's going to be.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's what we're telling him. That's the way it is with us. Yeah.
Syrahs, those bigger, bolder flavors. We're seeing more, U.S. like California Cab seems to be.
Yep.
That's a focus on cigar guys and ladies. Like they tend to like that bolder flavor. But it's interesting. We're seeing a lot of especially over the summer, a lot of our cigar smokers, enjoying rosé and they're enjoying white wines and different things like that I wouldn't have expected.
You wouldn't have maybe expected.
But when it's hot outside and they're sitting outside and they just want something a little more refreshing,
Hey, listen, I rosé all day.
Yeah,
I love rosé.
yeah.
I really
Oh,
do.
yeah.
I really do. During the summertime, it's really refreshing. It's
Yeah,
light. I wouldn't necess-
Ethan will have a nice crisp rosé with a Padron 64. No
I don't
problem.
know about that.
He is a basic white bitch.
Yeah.
If you
Hey.
said that.
It's like,
It's what you
pumpkin
like.
spice now, right? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it is. So it's funny. It's just to watch people and where, the Cavacelli, rosé up there, sparkling rosé. We did a tasting event with that. I mean, guys were buying bottles of it.
Yep.
Just
Oh, really? Yeah,
constantly. And it's like, it's not what I've expected, but
Well, it's, again, when you draw the parallels to cigars, and you guys do, what do you do? Do you do official tastings here every week? Like an official, obviously you can probably taste anytime
Yeah.
you wanted to, but do you guys do regular tasting schedule?
So every Thursday we're doing a wine tasting. We usually feature 5 wines.
Yep.
We do a $15. You come in, you get a 2.5 ounce pour, and we featured right now we've been kind of really focused on regions. So we've done this week we're doing Northern Italy. We've done
Yep.
Southern Italy. We've done
Yep.
France, Germany, South Africa, and kind of a way to introduce people to things that they maybe haven't tried before.
Yeah, and we do this when we do Cigar Club and we bring one brand in and kind of we give a cigar out almost like a tasting. With the wine, it's if somebody has tried something and likes it,
Yeah.
and it doesn't offend, they are going to buy it.
Yeah.
Right? And the easiest thing to do is let them taste wine. Let them smoke a cigar. Like, oh, you've never had Aganorsa before. Well, here, try Garden Farm. It's like, oh, I really like that. I was like, all right, well, here's the full gamut of it. And that's kind of the, short of just stumbling on it, hey, let me try one or let me try a glass of this and hoping they like it. It's the most effective way of converting somebody onto that
Yeah.
product.
First one's free, right?
Yeah, first one's free. That's right.
Yeah, and the same
that's
way-
why we give away cigars at elementary schools. Like, you gotta get it in
Yeah.
early.
We're trying to get Nick Perdomo the fourth to come and do an event and have the little baby.
Yeah,
hand
they
out
wanted. They
cigars.
said, you want to do a Perdomo event? We can get Nick here. I said, I want the fourth one, the little baby.
Yeah.
Let's bring him in, and we'll get
Family
things
friendly
solved.
event.
Full
Yeah,
disclosure, we do not sell cigars.
no,
to
no.
elementary
Yeah.
students. That was a
We ID.
that was a joke. Burners might, but we do not.
No, that's the hardest thing is telling schools like high schools and middle schools and things like
Yeah.
that. Like, I'm not going to sponsor the sports league because I'm pretty sure that nobody
Oh,
here.
man.
I hate to do it. I was like, but it really is not a good look for us to be on your on your middle school football team's banner. Like, I'll donate something to the silent auction to the parents, but like,
we'll do the collegiate stuff. Like we got a relationship
Yeah.
with UNCG, with that stuff. But anytime it's like, oh yeah, my son's travel baseball team. I was like, I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah, it's a tough-
Part of me wants like a smoking baseball like on the front of his jersey, and being like, what is these guys coming out of a smoky bus?
I've done a few
getting ready to
things
play
to
the game
schools. They're
with-
like, we're doing a silent auction for an event. I'm like, okay, I can do that. I was like, but
yeah.
I don't want to be on the banner on the the home field. It's
Yeah.
like Burner Cigar Company, and all the kids are saying, what is that place? Yeah, so
The wine piece opens you up to that big time, by the way.
oh yeah,
Everybody's giving you, hey, you want to donate a bottle of wine?
Yep.
Or we're doing this or that. I always wonder, I'm like, am I donating this for you to drink?
You are the number one contributor to Ducks Unlimited in the world, and that's my fault.
Ducks Unlimited loves me. I get the magazine. I get the sticker.
Oh,
yeah, they
I
have the
gave
chapter
one
meeting in
bundle. I gave
Greensboro.
one bundle of cigars and a bottle of wine. Now they're back every
now
time,
they're
man.
quacking
Yeah.
back every year, right?
I ain't never shot a duck in my life.
yeah. I know that there's
Big duck guy.
Big duck guy.
it's amazing. This
Beautiful creature.
the time of year it starts. It's like about the beginning of school season.
Oh,
all
yeah,
the fall fundraisers, everybody comes through. and you're like,
Everybody's school drive is going. Everybody's got a silent auction. It's like, listen,
Chocolate
and
bars.
and you could politely say, no, or you try to find something. We've got a pretty good process of some cigars that,
yeah,
are good cigars. They're good cigars to those
Yeah,
that
that
are
you
listening,
wanna-
but maybe we don't, they're great for donating these
Yeah.
cigars now. So it's like, that's what you're going to get. But literally it's like, I have to close the doors of all 5 shops if I gave to every single person who came through and said, can I get a gift card and everything like that? And gift cards not too bad because, you're really getting half price on the gift
Yeah.
card, which is not too bad, but
and then they're
it's
coming
like,
back.
damn.
At least they're coming in the store.
yeah,
So
you're
you usually
getting
get
them
people to
back
come
in.
back
That's right.
in.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
we
when we
get-
give them coffee. I give them whole beans. I got to come back and get it ground.
Yeah, I got on one of my guys the other day. He's like, I gave this charity all this stuff, and I'm like, what's a charity? And he starts explaining it to me, and I was like,
It's the human
this isn't
fund.
like they're trying like they're
Money for
they're-
people.
money for people.
He kind of explains it. I was like, send me the links. I'll read it. I'm like, oh, but like, who was this girl that came in and asked you for stuff? Because I feel like somebody. I'm like this. Like, all the groups we give to, and we've got a few that we sponsor really heavy, like Lincoln County Child Advocacy Center.
Yep.
We do a huge event with them every year. Cigar, bourbon, and benefactor that they do. Like one of the guys that works for me organizes. Like it's massive. We do like a ton with them. I'm like,
Yep.
I know where it's going. Like it's going to kids,
Yeah.
and things like that. Like I can get behind this. I was like, but somebody that's trying to save a historical landmark, in town, that's kind of like, I have a hard time here. Like
when people call me too, my go-to line anymore is like, listen, we support a select few every year as to what we donate to and everything like that. So if you want to send your information, you can be put in that pool. Then we'll go through it. And then if it's in a media, now it's like, okay, you didn't.
Yeah.
This isn't as important to you.
and I need at least 30 days.
Yeah.
I need at least
like, I don't want to
need
hear
to
that.
kinda-
Don't come on Friday and silent auctions
Yeah.
on Monday. Come on now.
Don't come without a tax ID number.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to send this to somebody.
Yeah.
So-
But shout out Ducks Unlimited. I got my, I think it's stickers on the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love a duck. So we're just going through here. We got the tour. It looks great. Humidor looks awesome.
Thank you.
When you come into this new market, because give me your trade area as far as how far we are from the other 2 stores from here.
So this is Charlotte, in the Lake Norman area. So depending on traffic,
Yeah, it could take an
we're about
hour or 10 minutes,
20
either way.
minutes from the main store
Okay.
in Huntersville, and then maybe about 30 minutes from the Denver store.
From the Denver store.
So
Okay.
kind of, they're all about 20 minutes apart.
And I'm fairly confident you are, but you're kind of the only cigar person right here.
We got a little more competition in the Lake Norman, like around the main store, just because that area is so populated.
Right, but this store specifically.
This store specifically, yes, there's nothing.
So you're coming into a space where you don't have any competition, but you also don't know what the trade area looks like from like a consumer standpoint.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, so I worked to run a lot of analytics when looking for locations, because it took me a few years to kind of narrow down where we wanted to be. And I looked at all over town. And, you know, we found some analytics software that really helped dive into the markets, you know, and then we started collecting customer zip codes a few years ago just to kind of get an idea like where our customers are coming from, you know, what, you know, look at buying patterns, like where we can focus on things. And so we still have a good customer base in this market, like a strong customer base. So we pull a little bit from our, and I'd like to say our main competition at this store is my main store. That's where we pull the most from. But like we pull some people from there. So we kind of had an idea like where that customer base was as far as terms as like brands and things like that on the cigars. So analyzing that's been a little bit easier, I would say.
Okay, that's good. So we kind of ran into this when, you know, we had, for those, you know, those listeners, we've got the new Durham store. Durham Chapel Hill is about as far south, east and southwest or whatever in Durham. You can still be a Durham address, so it services those two. But when we were looking at it, and the Mebane store had become clear, like it had reached a ceiling, and like for it to go further, we needed to add the smoking piece and everything like that. And we could tell, like you were just talking about, we collecting the data through our loyalty program, can see the sales and stuff like that. 80% of our sales probably were coming from the zip code that we just moved to.
Yeah.
So we were able to make that transition. And do we leave a few customers behind? Probably. You know, we have some still, you know, driving, but we're 16 minutes from the other store. So basically, if you lived, you know, 8 minutes up the road, you're just as close to the new store as you were the old store. But you could tell just by collecting that data, you know, we're going to be okay. You know what I mean? Like, we're not dumping the entire market for this other one. So when you were looking at the analytics, whatever you dive into, what do you like to see, and what did you find the most useful?
So for me, we looked at, and we used Esri, you know, software. And friends at Anstead's, like I introduced them to it. They used it for market analytics. It was amazing software. So I looked at population density within a 5-mile radius. I looked at other locations. So I went through and basically took the PCA roster of tobacconists, you know, in the state and just put them in a map, you guys included. The whole state, just so I could see, uploaded a spreadsheet and just put the addresses in there so I could kind of see where other shops mapped out. And then put a 5-mile radius ring around there so they could, so I could kind of see overlaps and things like that. So from there, then we dug into what the average customer spends on premium cigars. It'll give you that data. You kind of take that with a little bit of a grain of salt,
right? Because like, how do you collect that data?
Yeah, Black and Mild and Swisher, you know, sweets and those things fall into premium still. So you kind of gotta, you know, I came up with a formula to kind of determine based off our Burkdale store numbers, like what I thought a cigar shop should do. Like knowing, like, all right, it said in this 5-mile radius around Burkdale, you know, $6 million in premium tobacco sales. Like, ooh, okay, let's find a real number that's in there. Like, let's start diving in. And it took a little while, and we came up with the percentage. Just say, like, we take up, let's say, 18% of that number, and then utilize that to put other areas in. And then you can see what the average person spent on premium cigars. So, like, obviously, if the average customer is spending, let's just say, $80 a year, or the average person spending $80 a year on premium tobacco, that's a pretty good number when you factor in 106,000 people within 5 miles. You can kind of start really getting a calculation of where, you know, you think that business should be, and then do the same thing with this store with beer and wine and start kind of analyzing what the projections are. Yeah. And, you know, those numbers, like with everything, you've got to kind of find your right mix of that.
Yeah, find the right lane, because they can be misleading because depending on who's collecting the data, how they're collecting the data. You know, you could say like the premium cigar purchases around here, but it's like, I don't know anybody who sells premium cigars around here. So where's that data coming from? Was there anything that surprised you about those numbers when it came to it?
For me, the biggest surprise with this area was the number of people within a 5-mile radius. Like, that to me was the biggest, because this wasn't really an area I even considered initially. Okay. Like, it was, I mean, I grew up not far from here. I worked, you know, I'm with Charlotte Fire Department, so I worked at the station 2 miles from here for a few months. I never really thought about, you know, I knew the area, but didn't think about the amount of people. And then when I started looking at the data, I was like, wow, we've got 160,000 people within 5 miles from here.
Wow.
Plus, we're
That's
facing.
crazy.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's like when you have a place like Charlotte, one of, if not maybe the fastest growing metropolitan area in the country, has been for the last probably 20 years.
Yeah.
And, the city wasn't built it was always a larger city, but it wasn't centrally built to have this kind of people. So it's expanding out. So you have these, what I think some people think, excuse me, are suburbs, but they're really not. They're more fingerlings of the greater communities of Charlotte. You might be listening to this and have a cigar shop in whatever town, and your town has, 30,000 people in or something like that. Charlotte's got 15 different areas like this that have 100,000 people packed into 5 miles.
City of Charlotte limits, I think we're just under 1 million people right now.
Yep.
So, and this area here is on the outskirts of the city.
Yeah.
So go across I-45 behind us, you've got you got Huntersville. You go 2 miles that way, you've got Concord. So, you talk about a lot of people. And then so you start looking at that, and then you obviously look at demographics data, what people spend, income, because we're in an industry where it's disposable income, like it's not necessity. So you want people that appreciate that kind of stuff and are willing to spend the money on it. So for me, that data of 160,000 people, and we're facing the interloop interstate, so we're fast access. I'm like, that kind of was a no-brainer.
Yeah,
to me.
we're literally like right outside the door is one of the busiest stretches of expressway.
And that's why I was like, our signage has got to go high. Like, I want it
you got to be able to see it from out there.
Go like meet
at least part
McDonald's,
of it.
man, off the highway. Just look
Yeah.
over, see the golden
Burner's
arches.
Bottle Shop, 1 billion
That's right.
served and more, whatever that.
I hope
sign
so.
is.
Yeah, but yeah, that was for me, like finding this location, the layout of the store, the analytic data. I was like, okay, this is we had finally a space where we could put a good sized patio.
Yep.
Parking's not really too much. It is kind of an issue some nights. We get busy, so we fill it up, which I'm fine with that.
Listen, that's one of those things. It's like if you're running out of parking, it is a problem certainly, but it's a good problem.
I would rather people run out of parking for us, like because our customers fill up the space, not because all of our tenants around us, all of our neighbors are filled up.
Because the Italian restaurants park.
Then our customers can't get in because they're like, well, I couldn't find space. Everybody's at Cheesecake Factory. So.
Right. And that's a way to turn customers off, right?
Yeah.
It's like if it becomes a hassle to go do anything, like we're all guilty of it. It's like, God, I'm not going over there. Like it takes 30 minutes. You can't find any place to park. And then suddenly you're buying your cigars, wine, or whatever it is somewhere else. So those are the things that you gotta, those weird kind of oddities that you have to think about when you're planning with these out. You just talked about putting the sign up higher. What are you able to do, or what are you doing marketing wise that because that's, for cigar shop owners, especially when you're cigar centric, that's a huge hurdle to get over.
Yeah.
Like we can't do what people generally call traditional advertising, right? Like we can kind of skate the lines of it, but whether it's Google advertise or stuff like that, it's going to get flagged every time, social media and everything like that. So are you finding effective ways to reach the people out here?
So with the rebranding, it's opened us up to be able to do more advertising. Like we've ran some Instagram ad campaigns that have allowed us to go through because Burner's Bottle Shop is not flagged like Burner Cigar Company.
So that was going to lead me into it. Please keep going. But we've found that effective with the new Durham tap room. Yeah. Yes, we are a cigar lounge, but the fact that we can advertise other things to get you in really has been effective.
And that was one of the campaigns when we first ran it. Kellen, who does my social media, and really my wife Megan now is doing most of the social media for this location, found that it's like as long as we don't have any real, we could show the humidor, but we're not focusing on a picture of a cigar and a drink, then we make it through. But if we focus on tobacco, then it gets flagged.
It's going to get flagged. Yeah.
And so
and certainly any verbiage about it in the description.
So you've got to really kind of, like you said, skirt the line a little bit or find the gray area that's lets you through. But to me, it's always interesting that
we found it to be super effective.
Yeah.
Super effective because, and I assume you're doing this, but we only boost it to a certain area, right?
Yeah.
Like we've created a group that is Durham, Raleigh, Cary, Apex.
Yeah.
Anybody who would be within that trade area. So you're not wasting dollars on some person and, you advertise somebody in Raleigh or me advertising somebody in Charlotte doesn't make any sense. That's just not a consumer you're going to capture.
And it's a different I do love the fact, social media, and I really question sometimes on why we're not allowed to market on there, because
Especially since you can do alcohol and it's
Nobody will ever be able to explain to me
No.
why same thing happens with like processing.
merchant processing.
Credit cards, tobacco is considered, because it's age verified, it's considered high risk. But going to buy beer and wine is not, which
Yeah.
is wild.
Yep.
Like you got to collect the ID. You shouldn't see. You're not supposed to be selling either one of these things to people under the age of 21. Why is one held to a different standard?
Thank Marlboro for that.
Yeah, you probably can.
Camel back
Yeah,
in the day.
Camel.
Well, and my
Selling
thought as well.
bicycles to kids with Camel logo on them.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's got a jacket.
yeah, hell yeah. These jackets are cool,
Bring
man.
your tabs in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand, because with social media, you can set specific parameters of people that have interest in cigars, people that
Right.
are over the age of 21.
Yeah.
Same thing with alcohol. Like, you can narrow that down to where, like, you're not advertising to people that don't want the content or aren't. Yes, anybody could put in fake data into social media and get it, but
Sure, but that's something that can't be policed.
that's on
anyway.
them, not us. So,
Yeah.
but we can
Everybody
put that
was
in
born
there.
1/1.
Yeah.
1900.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like when you got to fill out the thing. It's like,
Yeah.
so everybody's 125 years old. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's but so to me, I just don't understand. Like, that should be something that we could do, but we're blacklisted. Alcohol gets away with more than us. On what they
100%.
can do.
It's not even close.
It's,
Well, and the
it's
THC
amazing.
stuff now too.
Yeah,
Listen, this is one. Listen, I'm all for it. You do whatever it is you do. I'm a do you guy. But the wild thing is when you look at states who legalize marijuana, and then the very following article is like, you can't smoke indoors at cigar bars, or you can't have a cigar lounge, or you can't have a tobacco shop. It's like, you smoke weed too, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
it still burns. It still creates.
yeah,
it's-
exactly. So but I mean, the reality is, you can play that game a little bit now with the bottle shop, right?
Yeah.
Like you can, and we found that with the same thing in Durham. Like whether it's we're promoting the live music, the comedy event we just did, or anything like that. Like we're getting 30, 40 new people on those nights. They're like, oh, I saw it on Instagram. I saw you popped up on my Instagram. I mean, it is super effective.
We ran our first Instagram ad, I think ever. In 15 years almost since I've owned up Burners, and I think we had 200 new followers within 6 days.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
It's-
that was
it's an-
amazing.
it's
That was
an
amazing.
immediate- it's
our
an
numbers are
immediate
going up like
pickup.
crazy, and so
Yep.
it is a it's been very helpful. And my mindset over the last few years, like, we've been trying to collect information to be able to do like mailings to customers, because of tobacco being so restricted. Like, all right, we're going to send out a mailer to our customers in this area. And now I'm like, we're not going to spend $3,000 on a blanket flyer to get
It's going straight.
maybe 30 cigar smokers in that area. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
You small percentage of cigar smokers, right? And you can't target them with the mail. It's impossible. And then you're asking people who are cigar smokers to be also a person who reads mail.
Yeah.
Right, which then you're really taking it down. So it's like you send 3,000 of these things out, and one person goes, "Oh, bird bottle." Like that's just not an effective.
Yeah, and it's the old guy who's looking for Arby's coupons to get 2-for-1 on
And
roast
then
beef
he
sandwiches.
comes in and wants
he's
to know
like,
why he can't get a bundle of Frescos for
yeah.
$26.
Well, that guy's been grabbing his 20% off coupon
Yeah.
from all of his neighbors and bringing it
That's
in every
right.
day
Correct.
That's
to
right.
get a deal. So
That's exactly
Correct.
it's
right.
it's a challenge. But no, we're
Do you guys I presume do email marketing? Yeah.
we do a little bit. Like, we're trying to gear it back up. We just we're getting ready to start text marketing again.
Text. Yeah. So
that has been the most effective.
Yeah.
outside of the being able to really target with social media, outside of that, for us at least, text messaging is, and it's really not even close.
Yeah.
The purchase through, click through rate, whatever you want to call it, that text messaging gets.
Yeah.
And we had it going, huge list for the longest period of time, no issues, and then just woke up one day,
Did y'all work with Lightspeed?
we were doing it through we're doing it through Square first. of all.
Okay, we were doing it through Lightspeed, and the same thing.
And we got busted on it wasn't even a cigar related text. It was a wine related one, wine and beer. And I guess the word beer got caught, and it got picked up, and then they flagged us. So we now do with Nimble is the name of the company.
Yep, we just signed up with them.
Okay, so yeah. So we've onboarded with them, got our list back up to a few thousand, and it's in a good
So
spot now.
We've got our our database list through our point of sale that, we've had, since starting, because everybody that uses our rewards program, it's linked to their phone number. And so, you have to add one every time. So our debate now is, do we just upload everybody back into one or start fresh again? And
so I mean, the most effective way to do this, and these guys will walk you through this, may be boring and stuff like that, but you're going to make sure you're not going to get busted again, you're going to have to send out a text message to all these people on the list saying like, hey, I need you to opt in. The problem is, depending on how it was collected before, like the opt-in rate can slow down.
Especially in an industry that's full of old dudes who don't understand, like, is this real? Like, text messages,
so
like, don't read half
they can
of it.
text back to this number.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're sending out text messages like, hey, verify stuff like that. And I'm getting back, does Ethan have my cigars yet? Or like, this is not the way to communicate this. Like, this is that. But you get that a lot. But yeah, you're going to need to get them to opt in. But the good thing is the people who, generally speaking, like anything, if they opt in, that's an active viewer of what you're trying to send, right? That's an engaged buyer. They're going to be, whatever you're sending in the future, they're going to be, you know.
And that's what we found, with even with email marketing. Like, I used to get, I won't say annoyed, but perturbed when people would opt out. Like, why are they opting out? Like, why are they, but even now with text, you get so many, you get so much, you're bombarded with, all right, to get this discount, you got to get an email and a text, and you got to subscribe to them. So people are now, opting out of everything. So I'm like, well, I'd rather just opt out than me waste money sending them a text or an email. Because I'm like, just if it's not relevant, it doesn't hurt my feelings.
And when we did the text messaging, I would get a run of like 20 like opt-outs, like text stop right back to back. And I'm like, oh, what's it? And I literally spent 10 minutes looking up their phone number in our system, and it was like, oh, this phone number made one purchase in December of 2019. And that's the only time they ever visited the store. So you're like, okay, this person bought a Christmas gift or something like that, then it's not for them. And I, like you said, I would rather not pay the 8 cents or whatever it is to send them that text than just to say I've got X amount of thousand on the text list or whatever it is.
So it's I'm trying to hand off some of my responsibilities now that
got to delegate, man. With 3 stores,
I'm
bro,
learning
you can't.
now. So to give some of our staff here, my managers and things like that, some responsibilities. All right, set this up. Let's get our organization done. Let's make sure the texts that are going out, or if they just want beer and wine texts, they're just going to them. If they just want cigars, are going to them. Like, I don't want to. Let's get this organized and set up right, and so let them kind of develop that.
Yes, I saw the beer flyer up there. Somebody's effective on Canva. I saw the same little beer.
I
saw my same little beer guy I like to use up there.
Joe manager McKenzie and at this store, and my wife have gotten very very good at it. You can see all the stuff they do every week with Canva. So,
but it works. It looks good when people come into your place and things look clean and professional and well done. It speaks a lot of it, right?
That is the goal is to you want to be a local shop, but you want to be a professional shop. Like when you got stuff that's unorganized and there's no information.
Yeah, you're not looking for your
staff doesn't know anything.
Torn, empty boxes of cigars stacked up at the front door and everything like that.
Which we've got a box full cart. If you know anybody who needs free
I
cigar,
saw the cart.
Free cigar boxes, send them here. We
at
Bosa's store, we usually just give them away. We used to sell them for $1 or so, just off the pay for the shipping cost to help get them here. Now I'm like, please just take them. So please, if you know anybody that needs cigar boxes, come see us.
So for the longest time, we've always given away the cigar boxes. We tried to do a sell at one point, and we listed them on Craigslist, but the ad got flagged because it was tobacco, even though it was empty cigar boxes.
Yeah, empty cigar box,
And so we put all our cigar boxes in Greensboro anyways out on the front porch, and we joke that any cigar box that is in Greensboro, North Carolina has come from the Pipe and Pint, because we go through thousands of cigar boxes a year.
We've been in that location for what, 15 years? We've been in Greensboro for 28 years, but that location, 15 years, we put them on the front porch. And no less than 10 to 15 go out front every single day. Some days we're filling and there's 40 of them out there. And some days maybe there's 10, but on average probably 10 to 12 to 15 every single day, 365 days a year. And they're never there the next morning.
Ever.
Oh, yeah.
They're never still sitting there.
You know where they are? They turn into a clock or a purse on
probably.
eBay.
Oh,
probably.
Yeah. Well, listen, I can live with that. That's fine.
I hate to throw them away.
But I'm like doing the math. I'm like, where's the 300? I'm like, every person in Greensboro has like
As at least one of
you know,
ours.
at least
right.
one of our cigar boxes. Or
I know. I tried to learn the Etsy thing because I saw people posting them on there. You know, the Arturo Fuente box, just a regular
Yeah.
signature box.
yeah,
$15.
yeah.
Plus $7 shipping. I'm like, let's get on this thing. And then Etsy got it. I was like, man,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
complicated. I
Yeah.
was like, we'll just get my way. Well, maybe one day, but it's I don't want to throw them away because they're too nice. The companies put too much money, too much artwork into it. Like it's like, and they're good boxes. I mean,
And I don't know why Padron went away from it, and other cigar businesses, manufacturers still do it. Like, you know, Padron for years gave you the credit for
they
sending
still
the
do.
boxes back.
Yeah, they still
do
do.
it.
Yeah, they still
oh,
do.
okay.
we send all our Padron boxes back.
Do you? Okay. All right.
A few other companies do it. We'll send. Well, they'll send you bundles to refill. We just had this conversation with my father, Jose from my father, earlier
yeah.
about, you know, well, if we save the boxes, can we just send us bundles? If that's the problem, like, we'll refill them. And they're like, nope, they want everything to ship out in a box, which I understand. Like,
Sounds like Perdomo. It's a real Perdomo thing.
Yeah, it is a real Padron.
Well,
But like Romacraft, see, that's why. Do y'all carry Romacraft?
not really anymore. No, not anymore.
So that's what Romacraft does is,
Yeah,
you know,
they always
and
do
they give you a
bundles.
discount on the bundle. If
yeah,
you
as long
if
as
you
I'll
buy the
take it in the
bundles.
bundle as long as you give me a discount on the bundle.
Yeah,
Don't give me no
yeah.
box and then
Yeah,
keep
it's really
the
nice.
box.
The problem is with somebody small as Romacraft, like we'll place the order and it's like, okay, we're gonna get 5 boxes and 10 bundles. Well, the 5 boxes come and then the 10 bundles don't come for like 2 months later.
Yeah.
And we kind of forget about it and then we
Yeah,
pull
and
the
then you
box
toss
off the
exactly
shelf
the box
and then it gets
off,
put on
and
the
here
front
comes the
porch
bundle,
and
yeah.
God knows where it's gone and then we get it and it's like we got bundles on the shelf.
we had that issue here with Island Gym. The guys didn't know to save the boxes. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
keep them because we'll refill and
Yeah,
then, you
yeah,
know, we can
yeah.
save some people some money. But the I get, like the guys were saying, and I had this argument a few years ago. Well, probably 10 years ago with Christian Aroa. I'm like, my humidor's tight. My original humidor is very tight. I'm like, we're doing trays. Can you just send me bundles? He's like, I hate them. I was like, why? We can fit more facings in here in
trays.
That way, and send me bundles. You don't have to buy boxes. He's like, look, you know, you guys aren't like
You can't
everybody
put our
else.
boxes on the shelves. You don't need an account.
Well, his whole thing was like,
Calm down,
people don't
Nick.
take care of
Nick
trays.
Perdomo.
He's like, yeah, well, he's like, people don't take care of them. He's like,
Yeah.
you know, people get refill bundles and they just dump them in there.
Yeah.
And they, you know, it looks, you know, the barcodes are up, bands are flipped, cigars are upside down. Like, they don't care. You know, you think about some of the shops you've gone into. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you walk in there,
I'm
like,
sure,
man, this humidor looks terrible. Like, stuff's all over the place. Cigars are, you know, mixed up. And I'm like, all right, I could see that. Like, if you don't take care, you gotta, and for them to police everybody to take care of their humidor, it's going to be tough. So I understand from that perspective. I'm
And
like,
if they didn't send, you know, if everything didn't come in a box, how would you get a box full of loose tobacco that would just fall all over?
oh yeah, no, I really need that.
I mean, how would you? I mean,
So I had
How
this
would
is-
you
this is
feel
no
if that
joke.
wasn't in your life?
I had a customer come in, I don't know, 3 days ago, and he wanted some Islas, and we were out in a cabinet, so I went upstairs and I grabbed a box, and I come back downstairs, and this man looks at me dead in the eye and says, "That is the sexiest packaging I've ever seen." It kind of sensual too, like deadlocked eyes with me. I'm
Aviso
like,
del Sol.
I'm like,
Oh
first
my
of all,
God, yeah.
first of all, this is a cardboard box.
It's a cardboard box.
Yeah.
Second of all, and
And not even one of the good
I-
cardboard boxes, like a
Oh, yeah.
legitimate just
Yeah, it's
cardboard
just- it's
packaging
And then,
box.
so I started laying it on thick. I did the Vanna White, you know, cut it real
Oh,
slow,
man.
open it up real slow.
Oh, yeah.
Wait till
And
you
I
see
mean,
the
this dude got a little
inside.
chub going on over a box of Islas. And I was like, my guy, that's something.
Good
I mean,
Lord.
yeah.
Imagine if he actually saw a really good, well-presented box.
I
So
know.
he's
I
like,
think he just likes the tobacco in it.
Think about me
that's
when
what
you
it
smoke
is.
it.
Wait till I show you tobacco's bias.
Yeah.
Look at this
Well, and
green
it's
box.
funny
Look at
'cause
this green box.
we used to have customers that would want the loose leaf tobacco out of
Yeah.
those boxes.
Makes great potpourri.
Yeah.
Acid,
yeah.
you know, throw it in the bathroom. You know, clean, get it smelling
Yeah.
nice at least.
Remember Benny?
Yeah, of course.
Benny used to come in and say, "What loose tobacco do you have?" So like the Islas, the Cuba Cubas, that kind of stuff. Like Larry would put it in a bag for her and just give her a
Do
bag
we have
of
any
the
clue
tobacco.
what was happening to it?
I don't know that I want to know.
Can't be smoking.
I mean, maybe
it,
throw it
right?
in your fireplace.
Nah,
You know,
I
give it a
bet she
little-
was. I bet she was smoking it.
I can tell you, I got a shop vac full of them because I just had to vacuum out this Drew Estate cabinet. All the loose pieces. I'm like,
Dude, if it, I mean, Islas have it. Tabacs have it.
tobacco has all
Tobacco,
the acid.
Cubas,
Cubas.
basically everything.
Everything,
but
anything that
Deadwoods.
Drew Estate
Yeah.
sells.
Yeah,
obviously.
everything.
Island-
Deadwoods,
Jonathan
yeah.
Drew thought that'd
Island
be
Gym.
really
You guys
cool.
do Island Gym?
No,
Island Gym does. They come with it, and yeah,
Esteban does, though.
Carreras,
Oh,
yeah,
Esteban.
it looks great. Like I mean, it looks cool.
No,
Like,
done.
if you're the consumer opening it up,
No,
when
done.
you're the retailer, you're like,
Nope.
oh god, okay, here
It's
comes the
not
mess.
cool. It doesn't look
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
None
Yeah,
of those
it's a
things. are
Vacuum
accurate.
extra good.
I'm like, just turn it into a bundle cigar like everybody else does.
Yeah, God forbid
Yeah,
if you have loose leaf tobacco in there, and you ribbon it and the ribbon's a pain to get off, I mean, I might stop carrying your product. That's bad. I mean, if I got to get everybody's yanking it out, it's like, golly.
It's kind of like cigars without barcodes. I'm like, why make my life difficult? Like, just
Any new cigar that comes in and it doesn't have a barcode on it, I want to scream.
Yeah,
Like,
unless it's cabinet, I can get behind that.
Which
but
one?
If it's
unless it's cabinet style, like unsellowed, like whatever, I can get behind that. But like Padron,
because like LFD tries it with their little tiny
Placencia
barcodes, but they don't ever scan.
Yeah, Placencia
that's
are hit
true.
or miss.
Yeah, they're hit or miss.
The problem is the rounded ones. If they're box pressed, they're fine, but the rounded ones you can't scan
You
the
can't get
barcode.
the whole code.
The hex code is
fuck
terrible.
yeah.
I remember one time we got a box of Padrones that had, I think it was like 7,000s, had a barcode on it.
What?
And I called and I'm freaking out. I'm like, please tell me this is coming. They're like, oh no, that was something we did for, I guess, one of their big, retailers somewhere. I was like, please just do it. Like on the 1,000 series, like, cause Sean here this morning was, we have to, we put our little 4-digit SKU on all of them. So, cause sometimes it's, a natural looks like a Maduro and you get the new guy gets, an exclusivo mixed up with a Imperial. And you're like, God, like, please don't do this.
Yeah, and especially there's no distinction in the bands, right?
Yeah.
Like in the 1,000 series, they're all got the same band on Maduro or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So
I was talking to my friend who is the assistant manager at the Casa Monte Cristo up in Paramus, New Jersey, and he sent me a bunch of Padrones as a gift, and I was looking on the back of them, and they all had QR codes, and I was like, dude, are you stickering every single Padron that you sell? And he's like, yeah, dude, that's like half my day every day.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I
I
print
just
like
don't get
400 or
that one
500
though because
stickers.
it's it's a good price point cigar. It's in cello from one of the biggest, if not the biggest name in cigars.
Yeah.
Like let's slap a little beeper on there, bud.
Yeah.
Well,
what do we
I
have?
think Padron may just be a, like, F you, you're going to carry it anyways.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't have to change anything.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, we're talking half a penny, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that. I mean, you already make it the plastic. Just put them on there. Fuente, if you got Fuente to do it, then you can probably.
Yeah, that's right. Like if Fuente is considered, they do it, and but although Fuente hasn't been doing it that long, right?
No, it's only been a couple of years.
I mean, it's only been a few years since they started doing it.
I remember we had that discussion with might have been their national sales manager. He came in one day, and we keep Fuente kind of in a, more of an obscure spot in the humidor because Fuente guys are going to buy Fuente. Like,
Correct.
They're going to search it for it. So I'm like, I'm going to make it too easy for you. Like you got to hunt, like walk past everything else. And he was asking me, he's like, what kind of things can we do to get, better shelf presence? I was like, barcodes. Just please put barcodes on everything because, it's already cellophane. Like just stick them on there.
Well, and half the size is all, like, it's like Padron, the Corona Imperial, the Spanish Lonsdale, the Selection Privada, they're all half
Classic
an inch.
signature,
They're all super close together. So.
We know
Similar
it 'cause we've
bands.
done it long enough, but like when you're trying to train somebody
Yeah, but if
new,
you're trying
and
to
they're
train somebody,
figure
it take years to like. You may not even expect somebody to actually memorize. Like,
And I used to have for Liga Privado was probably the hardest one because even our little price stickers with the sticker gun won't stick to the Liga bands.
Yep.
They just fall off. So I had made up a size chart that I kept behind the register with a picture of each size of number 9 and the barcode. I'm like, no one looks at this thing. This is pointless. I'm like, well, wait. It's like learn the sizes. Like this is all you gotta do. Is like Robusto, Toro, Corona Double A. Like y'all figure it out. Like, but I'm not. But then it's T52 versus number 9. Like, just, come on, guys, make it life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
They can.
So speaking of empty cigar boxes, let's talk full cigar boxes.
All right.
So we're 3 stores. Give us a little bit of rundown on what your humidor looks like. Everybody knows us. Knows what we're kind of comprised of. But let's start with this. What's your biggest traditional cigar brand that you carry?
So we're very strong with Rocky Patel. We have been for a long time.
Is that who makes your Burners cigar
Yeah,
in there?
they did our 10th anniversary and the B1. The B1 is actually one I blended on my first trip with them.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
And it kind of we've all done it on trips and
Yep.
probably wasn't the right blend to pick, but I loved it, and so I was like, let's make 50 boxes of this. And,
Throw a little
we did
blueberry
it,
in there.
and
It's fine. Yeah.
It actually turned out. It's actually a pretty good smoke. I blended it to be really strong, but then it actually mellowed out so much. I'm like, all right, this is a solid medium, and then you add few years of age onto it because we had to buy so many that it actually smokes good.
So I was just going to ask you, was it a one-time buy type
we did
of
that
thing?
one. We've
or
done two rounds of that one.
You've done 2 rounds of it.
Our
Okay.
10th anniversary was supposed to come out in 2021, and we were about a little over a year late on that one just because of the pandemic and nobody could blend stuff, and we used a Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper on it, and we wanted Connecticut, and they couldn't get that, and so it took a little back seat. But we did one round of that one. We'll probably keep that one again, but by the time we get it, we'll be on year 15, so we'll have to change it up.
Yeah, just change it up a little bit.
But no, Rocky is our, as far as brand wise, Rocky's probably our biggest brand, biggest volume seller. Like we do a lot of Rocky volume. I mean, the 99 vintage is our top selling Connecticut cigar by folds. I mean, it's massive. So we've had a great relationship with them for years. And after that, Padron's probably our largest sales volume just because of their price point. But just it's Padron, so no one's gonna argue with that. I think every cigar shop has the same sentiment. Like we sell the most money in Padron, but it's Padron, so we could put it in a corner down at the
separate
bottom.
category.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
have you found, so humidor here, does it mimic the other humidors? Do you say fairly, okay, so it's different. Yeah.
Nope. I now have 3 stores with 3 completely different humidors.
Really?
Yeah. They're
Interesting.
all, I mean, as far as brand wise, we have a lot of the same brands, but each one's starting to diversify a little bit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this store and my Denver store both have bigger humidors. Like I really wanted to expand the footprint of the humidor, not so much to put more product in, but to make the product more visible.
Yeah.
And probably should have doubled the size of this one again too, because as soon as you think you've got it built right, you need another 50
3 shelves
spaces for boxes. But I really wanted to make sure like the boxes were fully visible, and we started trying to correct that in my main store. Got to kind of reduce the shelf, like take a shelf out, spray everything out. So but you want to be able to see the back of the box and make it visible and people to recognize a brand. Like sometimes when you've got, I think we have 8 shelves at the other store and they're stacked pretty tight. So you start getting below really waist high, people can't see it. Like they're looking down here in the bottoms and trying to find it and like, hey, do you carry this brand? Yeah, we've had it for 3 years. It's just over here.
Yeah, stuck down
so
there.
it gets too tight. So
but
brand wise, I mean, each store's got its own like, this one being the newest, and we're about 3.5 months, open now. We're still learning what mixes of stuff. So the big thing is like, all right, do you have people that want more $8 cigars, or do you have that customer base they're buying the $25, $30 cigars on a consistent base? So we're finding the balance here, but for the most part, each store's humidor so far has become a little bit different. Like it's
so I think
out.
We're going through that same thing in the Durham store right now. Like new market, new people, new customers. A little bit of different vibe and stuff like that. Some surprising me a little bit. Stuff that we carry that maybe I didn't think would be super interesting. Everybody's got what I would call the same kind of like skeleton of the humidor, right? So Perdomo, Padron for us, Fuente, My Father, Aganorsa, and Foundation. And then it kind of fills in with Rocky, and then kind of fills in based on that specific clientele. So the Winston store has a very eclectic boutique kind of following. So like Roma's doing really well there. Tatuaje does really well there. That's just kind of the same in Greensboro. But you go down to like the beach store, which is seasonal, it's tourism kind of place. It's very mainstream centric. Yeah. And even with things that we don't carry. Ashton's a great example. Avo, Monte Cristo, Romeo, the names that we really don't necessarily carry at any of the other stores. You kind of need them there because we talk about this where, we get this customer who we can track them in the system. They come in on June 3rd, 2024. And then we see them like June 5th, 2025. Right. They're on the same week that they beach vacation every year. They come in, they buy that one box. They're like, oh, I always get my cigars from you. You're like, damn, you've only been in 8 times. Well, you've been in, you bought cigars once a year for the last 8 years in a row. You've happened to buy it from us because that's how you buy them. So you find this different thing. The Durham humidors has more of the boutique vibe and upper echelon vibe than I anticipated. We've always carried Aganorsa. We have a great relationship with Aganorsa. When we first opened up with it over there, everybody's like, oh my God, you have Aganorsa. We're like, hey, we always do like, people like, I was really caught off guard, like excitement over Aganorsa. It's like, we've seen for some of the higher end stuff has been really popular there. and some random opening weekend, we had a box of Roma.
There's the Cro-Magnon Forium, which is the Candela.
The Candela.
Yeah.
Which
One of those.
It's a Candela.
it's a Candela.
Right.
We couldn't give it away
Yeah.
at any other store, right? And we just happened to have it because it came with the package. You had to take it. And we put it in there. That sucker sold so fast over there, like, made my head spin. And they're like, "You going to get some more in?" I'm like, "No, man, probably not."
I did. We did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
we
did.
did.
Yeah,
Just a
we
few
did.
more.
You get surprised, but what kind of each market is starving for or has an interest in. Because we're in Raleigh, Durham, there's other cigar shops that have a lot of the same things that we carry. So when you get something
It's
like
unique.
Aganorsa, which not everybody carries.
Yep.
We're big with Foundation. Not everybody's got Foundation, but it's a rapidly gaining popularity brand.
Yeah.
So when you have that stuff and you're getting the new stuff in, people really kind of gravitate to it, and it always catches me a little off guard. Like, I'm not surprised when somebody's like, "Oh, you got the Romeo Monty Whites in there?"
Yeah.
Like, no, actually, I don't.
Yeah. It's for me, opening 2 new stores in the last year it's a fun experience because you can kind of start building a brand that if you want to focus on somebody, if you're like, hey, all right, this brand, we've carried it gets a little bit lost, maybe you love the rep, Franklin, he gets all of us.
Boo.
Yeah, he gets all of us. Got a few brands of his, former brands of his I might need to cut out.
Yeah.
But
we cut a couple of them
Yeah.
immediately.
yeah. Thanks, Franklin. I'm
Still calling us.
stuck on all that.
Yeah. Still calling on us.
Notice you ordered anything in a little while. Like, well, I haven't noticed you had a rep in a little while.
Yeah, that's right.
I need somebody to sit in here and hustle them.
Yeah.
But whether it's a rep you like or a brand that you really like, and sometimes you just the customer base at this store just hasn't gravitated towards
Yeah.
it. But your staff's different at every store. One staff member can make or break a band.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, for sure. If it's something they're down with, like
Yeah.
if they smoked it, they're like, "I love this cigar." Like,
Yeah, I'll be the first person to admit, and I've talked about it on podcasts plenty of times. I love Tatuaje.
Yeah.
And Greensboro
Yep.
carries our Tatuaje.
Yeah.
It does well in Winston too, but that's because Austin also loves
Tatuaje.
And, but in Southport and High Point and in Durham, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just because I love it.
not
I
a-
recommend it all the time.
yeah. And that's where it gets that's where it starts getting a little difficult.
Yeah.
This one guy, it's behind this. I mean, I love Roma Craft. I think,
Yep.
Skip and Mike make great cigars. When I was behind the counter more at the Burkdale location, I sold a lot more Roma Craft, because I liked it and I was
Yeah,
pushing it.
yeah.
I had a staff member, my former general manager, where he left, he loved it. But after that, I kind of started taking on more roles, outside just working with customers. He left, and so the brand just kind of couldn't maintain momentum on its own. But we tried it, we kept it. No issues with the guys. It was just kind of a business decision.
Yeah.
I can't
Oh,
keep.
yeah.
And the back order issue was a deal for us too.
Yep.
So, but there's brands that this person at this location may just kill it with you. I think well, I never would have thought that. Or you this rep, I'm going to give him a shot and give him his brand a front center spot to try to build the momentum and, build a good long-term relationship. I think we'd all you hear of all the guys that have these, 30-year relationships with, this brand and they get special pricing. I'm not going to say Padron, but, companies like that.
Yep.
So, and they get there. And so they have that niche built. You want to build those with companies over the years, whether it's a rep, the national sales manager, the owner of the company, and we want to put that support behind you and focus on it and give them. And
Well, it
hopefully
makes your day-to-day business easier to know that you've got a building block of a product in there that
Yep.
you're behind. People are repeatedly buying. You can count on X coming in every 9 days, every 11 days, or whatever to get with it. It's easier for you to predict stock issues, whatever it is. I mean, there's a reason for doing that. If you've got a bunch of just million different SKUs on a different, real emphasis on what you're trying to do. It's too eclectic. It's too confusing.
Yep.
And it gives your customer fatigue. Golly, you're just
got a few sprinkle brands in here.
Yeah,
you got
you know,
one
we-
of this, two of that, and it's I don't know what I'm looking at.
People always knock Perdomo. Y'all don't carry Perdomo, do you?
Yeah, we do. We carry a
You
little
do?
bit, yeah.
Well, for those who don't know, Perdomo requires facings for lines, right? So you have to carry 4 facings of one line. So if you want champagne, you got to have 4 sizes of it. And a lot of people don't like that because they don't have room in their humidor for it. But at the same time, it makes sense because of what you just said, right? If you've only got one box or two boxes in there, it just gets lost in the mix. It makes the humidor look cluttered. It doesn't represent
it also
the
just
brand,
says to the
brand
customer,
well.
like, oh, we're just trying this out.
Yeah,
I mean,
right,
oh, you just
right.
got one box, is it fine? You know what I
Right.
mean?
And I've been guilty of doing that before. Like, you meet a new company and you're like, all right, we'll bring in a couple boxes, try it and see.
Yeah.
And then,
It's
it
a
kind of
dance.
doesn't-
It's a delicate balance because it's like you can't commit all of your time. Like we tell people all the time, it's like, okay, you want me to put 12 boxes of your cigars in there. We're at 25 years of business. What's in that humidor sells. So if your 12 boxes want to go in there, that means 12 boxes got to go out. So you tell me what you think these 12 boxes you pull off, and don't grab the Padrones or anything like that. Being a smart ass.
It's my biggest pet peeve if people come in, they're like, well, this cigar is like for the Padron smoker. I'm like, no, it's not.
No, Padron's
because
for the
Padron's
Padron
for the Padron smoker.
Correct.
Yeah.
No Padron smokers leaving gonna pick up your cigar one that's $5 less and be like, man, this is just like a Padron,
Right.
1964. I think I'm gonna switch to this.
Yeah.
One, you're just not converting people that way. It's not gonna happen. I've got customers that they smoke the same cigar every day, 365 days a year.
Yep.
I'm not converting them. Like,
There's
I don't
no
want the
reason
headache.
to. You don't want
I don't
to.
wanna
You don't
try
want to
Like,
because-
Why would you want to?
Yeah,
They're
all
great
you're going to do
customers.
is,
I know I need 7 boxes of Diamond Crown Classic number 4 every month for this one customer. Like,
Yep.
I don't have to sell it to anybody else. Like,
Yep.
I'm going to be a great account for that and it's predictable. Like, it's always available. I order it. Like, it's easy.
It's
Like,
available.
Yeah.
You know how to and engage and distribute your cash flow.
Oh, yeah.
It makes everything about your business that much easier.
if I had 50 customers that only smoke the same cigar all the time, I'd probably
sick.
just be
Yeah,
great.
it'd be
Like,
awesome.
It'd be easy. Like,
Like I'm a boutique guy and I like boutique smokers when they come in because it's fun to talk about the new stuff and everything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, those are the onesies and twosies guys.
Yeah.
So like they'll try I'm gonna use Warp Cocodrillo just because it's on top of my
Yeah.
head. Great cigar. And maybe they'll buy it again in the future, but they're going to buy that one. They're going to smoke it. They're going to post it on Instagram, and then they're going to come back and they want to know what's
the
new.
next one. Yep.
And it's like, this is not a sustainable buying habit that's predictable.
No.
Right? Like, there's no analytics for that. It's just
Yeah.
what's new.
You're like, oh, we
And-
just sold to the box. Like, okay, yeah, well, but there's not another box coming for 6 months because it's back order, it's
yeah.
limited. So it's like there's no real trend to base it off of.
Yep.
And I learned, so when I, maybe a few years into me taking over the shop, the main store, they moved JR Cigars that was in Statesville down to Morrisville. It's now Casa Monte Cristo.
Yep.
And I was like, man, this is going to be tough. Like, we can't be, focused on all these, mainstream brands, Romeo, Monte Cristo, everything, because they're going to kill us on that. So I went really heavily focused on boutique stuff. To where probably 70% of my humidor was boutique. Like, we had a strong boutique, but what I started learning, I was like, man, they're not, like you said, they're not sustainable. Like, they make some great cigars, but are they consistent? Like, are they making them or is somebody else making them? And are they changing factories? And then, because, we'd bring in stuff and it'd sell well. It's usually about the third turn is when you start noticing
Yep.
if the brand's going to stick.
It
Like,
is gonna stick
the
around it.
first order, you might go 2 boxes of a size.
Yeah,
It's
there's
gonna sell
a little
fast. Like,
beginner's luck to it. Like, it's
you
the
got
new thing.
3,000 customers, so all right, selling 60 or 50 cigars is pretty easy. Like, they go in and go out. Like, oh man, this
Yep.
flew out of here quick. We'll get another order in. Maybe you go to 3 boxes that time. Okay, those took a little bit longer to move, but everybody's been wanting to try them. They've heard about them. They're buying it.
Yep.
They move out. Third order is when you start seeing like,
Seeing,
and
yeah.
you're like, man, all right, we got a hit. Like, all right, I'll take 5 boxes of each of these, and then you're like, whew, these. Everybody's like, yeah, it was good. I tried it. Then move on to the next one. Like,
Yep.
oh yeah,
Yep.
when are you getting the new? Like, when are you getting the Habano in it, or
Yep.
when are you getting the new Foundation?
Yeah.
By my father. It's like,
When's the 13.5 anniversary coming out?
yeah. So then you're sitting there, you're like, oh, man, like, okay, we're kind of trying to figure that out.
Yep.
And that's the hard part with boutique. So I actually had to kind of scale us back a little bit. Like, we couldn't just bring in everybody that's
And then you
coming
run
out,
into the problem. It's like you work hard on it, and you get past that point with people. It's like, all right, maybe that guy's now grabbing 10, or you know, they're buying so many singles that it equates to X amount of boxes per month. It's like, all right, like we need this turn. It's like, all right, I need 10 boxes of the Toros, 5 boxes. You put in this order, and then that sucker gets dropped off by UPS, and there's 2 boxes of the Toros
Yeah.
in there, stuff like that, and you just see the back order line. It's like, well, we can't really,
Yeah.
because you get some brands who come in and like, oh, you get full commitment, it's a hand sell, and it's like, okay, got it, stuff like that, and then like you're doing it, it's like, all right, well, give me 20 boxes of it. It's like, oh well, we can't do 20 boxes. That it's like so it's like you don't have it. So it's like you have to be careful of
Yeah,
like
how
what
much
you're
you commit to.
convincing everybody to do, because if you get to the point, it's like, well, you can't provide that product anyway.
Yeah.
So asking us to turn over this amount of boxes is.
Or worst case scenario too is like, you build people on it, and then, they decide they need to have, that's doing so well, they want to do a price increase. Now that $12 cigar goes to 14 or 15, you're like, well, now it's not selling because it was a great price point at this, but then within a year you went up $2.50.
$2.50.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's been a. And
So I was gonna say, let's talk about that for a
yeah,
minute.
unfortunately, that's been a conversation that's been happening a lot more in the humidors. Now, part of that isn't. Well, it depends on the company. Part of it's not their fault because of tariffs.
Yeah.
But as you know as well as we know,
They'll take advantage of that tariff.
cigar companies are greedy. They just are. And they're going to use any excuse they can to raise their prices, right?
Yeah.
But
Prices don't usually go down.
So our best-selling brand we've talked about before is Perdomo.
Yep.
And we've had loyal Perdomo smokers for 20 years smoking the same thing. And we're finally starting to get a little pushback on pricing.
Yep.
And I'd like to think Perdomo's not being greedy, but at the same time, they're about to take, I think they're about to take their third price increase on the year. Foundation just took their third price increase on the year. So it's like
I can't keep
Charter
up with
Oak used
it's
to be.
because
No, it's crazy.
You change the prices on the boxes and get it updated in your system, and then you get a new email.
Yeah,
says,
like
go up
Charter
and-
Oak.
And nothing goes up uniformly. It's all
No,
different.
no.
Oh, yeah.
Charter Oak's one of the best value cigars in our humidor, but it's not. At what point is it not value anymore, right?
Well, I mean, look
and
at
we're
the
getting
Rocky
at
Edge.
that point.
The Rocky Edge was that way forever. I mean, but now it's.
Oh, that's funny. I was talking about something. That was kind of like
that
when
was
Larry
a
got
staple
those over
$5
there.
cigar.
Oh,
Like it was.
$5.
I mean,
Yeah.
It was. I mean, that was like that was your 100-count trades. People grab them by the handful and go. Now it's like.
Yeah, that was
I
the whole
mean,
point of the big tray. Is
Yeah,
like, 'cause
it's like we have
inexpensive.
them. I'm like, but they're $8.50. I think they're almost $9 now.
Yep.
By the time.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got. I mean, we're in a state that we've got a good tobacco tax. I mean, 30-cent cap.
Yep.
You know, that's pretty good for compared to most states. So you still add that in there. And you're like,
Yeah,
this
I
is
mean,
not really a value.
But that ain't even been that long. Go back to think what 3 years ago looked like if they were still 13% on that.
Yep.
What that,
Yeah, that was. I mean,
because these cigars that we're selling for $19, add another $1.50 to every one of those based on that tax. Like that's wild.
and it's but and like you said, like I'll give Rocky a good credit and shout out. If you remember about a year ago, they actually dropped the price on their vintage series.
Yeah, they did.
And we did too. Like we went to we go MSRP on everything.
Yep.
Like we add in the 30-cent tobacco tax, which is shown in the sticker. We used to not do that because I didn't want to put a cigar, a $20 cigar on the shelf, and it's showing up at $21.20 because it's got 12.8% tobacco tax on there. So we would add it at the register because somebody walks in, they're like, "Man, you're high price." But now I'm like 30 cents, we'll put it in there. It's listed. You know what you're paying for it.
Yep.
But I was really impressed when Rocky and them did that, and I was like, everybody else is going up. We're coming off of COVID. Everybody demand's high. I mean, and that's capitalism, like supply and demand. Like everybody could raise their prices.
Yep.
But like we said before, we saw it earlier. Some people got a little price happy, and
They also coming out of COVID, like you base your business on COVID business. That's a bad way of doing it because
we know it's not gonna last.
It's not going to last.
Yep.
That's we were one of the industries that really exploded during COVID because the average person was hanging out at home and they had
disposable income.
10 times more time and double the money to do whatever they wanted to do, so they could come by and hang out and work on a computer, whatever it was. But everybody had to go back to work, man. It's like
that and like some random look when you're getting stimulus money and then you're getting you're still being our customer base was not unemployed, like they were. They're still working from home. Like they're still making their salary. They're just like, man, I don't have 3 hours worth of commute time every day.
Yep.
So they, but for them to walk in, like, you know what? Here's a $25 cigar that I've never heard of. Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Yeah,
they don't
sure,
care.
it was
Like,
nothing.
this is back order. This is back order because people couldn't. They didn't mind. But then now you're going back out and everything's going up. So you're going to restaurants. You're going to concerts.
Yeah,
and
you're going to the
vacations.
bar.
And
You're
that's all
vacationing more.
still going up. And you're like, well, I'm going to go back to smoking. I'm going to still smoke a $25 cigar, but it's going to be the one I know that I get $25 worth of my money worth in that cigar. So customers really had to like shift, and I think a lot of companies were behind the bubble on that. Like they didn't adapt and recognize that quick enough. And our industry tends to move a little slower, like very much so. Like they didn't, and we talked about tariff pricing. Like, we had a price increase at the beginning of the year, and then there was like kind of like the pre-tariff jump in April that we saw. Like, you know, we all saw that, and then it was like, okay, now we got to do the
Now
full
there's the
increase.
actual tariff.
Yeah,
bump,
and
it's
then
like,
some
well,
companies, you know, they're not putting it in their prices, you know, and you got to respect some of the bigger
Yeah, I
companies.
think Rocky did that.
Yeah, they didn't put it in theirs. You know, they're fighting. You know, they're working to get it resolved. Some companies just, you know, you get a line item tariff fee. You know, so you know, okay, maybe it's not going to be a regular price increase, but then some of them you're like,
they've already baked it in.
it's baked in. I'm not seeing it go down. Like,
Well, so the interesting thing I think will be to see is if there is a reversal on the tariffs, right? And then the folks who either didn't take an increase or did a line item, they're like, you know what, there you go. We're going to do what we said. We're going to pull the line item off. And then it creates this price gap between those who raised their prices but baked it in and them. It's like, you know, you could find yourself like, I thought everybody was going to do this. Like, now we're here and everybody else is here. Like, it's hard to be like, you know, you're going to try to play the hero. It's like, you know what? We're going to drop the price of all our cigars by 50 cents. Like, oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
It's like you're not doing that out of the goodness of your heart. You realize you're overcharging that on every piece.
And I mean, our customers, I mean, there's so much information out there. Customers are smart. Like,
Yep.
you know, I've had customers that come to us before and they're like, you're 30 cents higher, you know, on this than this shop. I'm like, it's the tax. Like, it's tobacco tax. Like, we're not, like, let me compare your receipts.
Yeah.
Now, some companies might not pass it along. Like, some people don't. You know, that's
Yeah.
You know, we do. I mean, it's our cost. We pay tax on it. It's part of it. Like,
you run a business. Like, you can't.
We've got to. We can only absorb so much. And even now, like, I had this conversation with someone the other day on tariff stuff. I'm like, we've got to take it because everything else is gone. Our cigar bags, every bit, every matches, everything we use. I mean, it's all made.
Your rent's getting more expensive. Your power's getting more expensive. Your gas,
everything's going up. Like, we've got to pass it along. Like, you know, if it goes down, we will go with the manufacturer's MSRP on everything.
Yeah.
You know, and because we want to be competitive in the marketplace. Like, we're 10% off on boxes. All the time. Like, we want to be competitive. We want you to shop brick and mortar. Like, I go into shops and sometimes I'm like, man, like, good for you to be able to get this price. Like, it's great. Like, if you can get, you know, $35 on a Liga number 9, by all means do it. But, you know, you're going to lose a lot of customers that way because they're going to go on their phone and they're going to go look at their local shop and say,
you're enticing them to shop around at that point.
Yeah. And so we don't want people to do that. But, you know, the cost of everything is going up significantly. So
we talked about, like, listen, if you get a person who smokes, you know, 2 boxes of cigars a month, right, and spends let's say $500 on that, prices go wild and stuff like that. The odds are that person is not going to smoke less. If you smoke 30, 40 cigars a month, you just don't quit doing that.
Yeah.
But if you spend $500 on that, what you're going to do is you're going to continue to spend $500 on it.
You're just going to find a different
You're just going to find a different option.
Yep.
That's right.
And that's crazy too, because, like, there are companies now that are starting. I mean, there's companies that are making still very good price point cigars, like under $10, under $8. Hell, Drew Estate just came out with that Nika Shade.
Nika Shade's going to be good. Yeah,
like, I mean, it's going
that line does well for us anyway. Yeah. So the shade in it. Yep.
So, but I mean, there are companies that recognize this and have those capabilities, but, you know, those are the companies that are, you know, vertically integrated.
Yeah.
They and Drew Estate's almost vertically integrated. They still own some of their tobacco fields, but, you know, you look at guys like Padron, Placencia, Fuente, LFD, like they can do that. Like, they can introduce new stuff because they control all of that. And that's what we talk about.
If you're reliant on somebody else making it.
If you're a boutique manufacturer and you're like, well, that's going to be tough because your box prices went up. And
well, yeah, we've seen that with Foundation, right? We're big supporters of Foundation, and, you know, they're kind of somewhere in between. But it's like, you know, they have tariff increases or whatever it may be, but, you know, they're reliant on AJ for a huge chunk of stuff, and AJ has a fire at his production facility, everything like that. Suddenly you're affected all the way down the line. It's like, now, you know,
pricing, availability, the
whole 9 yards. Yeah,
it's tough. But yeah, these guys, it's hard, and it's hard to. It's such a small. Like, people don't realize, like, how small this industry is. Like, they see, like, you know, if you're in the cigar business, you know, or if you're a customer in the cigar business, it seems like, you know, these are, you look at these guys on Instagram, like this is massive industry, but we're really not. Especially now that I'm getting into beer and wine.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you realize
yeah,
how
yeah.
small we are. Like this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just
Yes, absolutely.
You or I or Ethan could pick up the phone and, outside of a couple, call any one of our manufacturers and get the actual person
Yeah,
who
talk to
owns
the
the
owner,
place
yeah.
on the phone and be like, hey, can you do something about these barcodes? And be like, yeah, we'll look at it,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yep.
You're not getting Chuck Wagner or anybody,
Nope.
That's,
anybody like that in the wine business on the phone is like, who the fuck are you?
yeah.
Why
they're not-
are you calling me? How did you get my cell phone?
Yeah,
Don't worry
that's
about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, and so you kind of realize like it's small. I mean, everything's still handmade for the most part. Like,
Yep.
And I laugh too because I'm like, I wonder how these companies that switch their box production to China, in the last couple of years because they couldn't keep up in Honduras and Nicaragua during COVID,
Yeah.
are like, shit.
Yep.
Like now we're between
Yep.
shipping container stuff going up so much, and then now tariffs from that. It's like, oh man,
It happens so fast. It's like a switch, and like you've gone from $9 to $13, and you're like, God damn! I swear to you, I bought that for $8 3 days ago. How is it $16 now? But like it can happen so quick.
Well, and I've had the argument with that. A few owners, not really argument, but like discussion with a few owners, and they're like, wow, we haven't done a price increase in 3 years. I was like, yeah, but I would rather you do an incremental price increase,
Yep.
5% every year, than wait until year 3.
I had
and go
that
up
conversation with
15%.
a rep the other day.
Yeah.
a
And
couple
And I'm like,
weeks
so
ago.
now that guy that's been buying this cigar for $9 for the last 3 years comes in and it's
Now
like
it's $14.
$11.50,
Yeah.
$13, and he's like, what the heck? And you're like, they did a price increase and they went up 75 cents a cigar. Like,
Listen, if I was to get an email every the second week of every January of every year,
yeah,
that said, hey, the 2025 annual price increase, we're at 3.5%, 4%, typical inflationary price increase.
yeah.
No problem, right? It just gradually adds in. Everybody's comfortable with it. Everybody understands. Yeah. To your point, we haven't done a price increase in 5 years. It's like, well, that's bad business. Like, I'm sorry that you're not doing that because your costs have probably increased.
Yep.
Yeah. You're not doing anybody any favors because you're eventually getting to the same price that you would eventually
Yeah.
be doing. But doing it with some sort
Now
of
it's a sticker shock,
shock
yeah.
is not the way to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish.
And trust me, like to me, like one price increase every 3 years is way easier to manage because you guys have done you get one company. Let's just say, I'll use Rocky, maybe 350 SKUs.
Yeah.
I usually try to keep the entire price sheet updated in our system. That way, somebody wants a Churchill in this size that we don't normally stock, we can get it and I can tell you the right price.
Right.
Yeah.
But so 350 SKUs, well, that's 350 boxes I have to change, and then that's 350 singles I have to change.
Yep.
And in our point of sale system, it's not an easy task.
No.
It's
Yep.
I've got Excel sheets and formulas, and I can do it pretty quickly if I have the data available. But like a lot of times, it's a PDF that's got just the product name
Yep,
and it's
yep.
mixed
You
up, and so
can't
I got
extrapolate it out.
I got to export it, or if they don't have SKU numbers, I got to build a custom sheet.
They changed the barcode on it this
takes
year.
forever. So it's like it's not an easy task, and heaven forbid you miss one for 2 months because you ordered big and then you didn't order anything for a little while, and the next time you ordered, you didn't pay attention, and you're like, we've been selling this for 10% less than we should have because the price increased the third time this year.
Yeah, that's been my only qualm with the line item tariff increase, right?
Yeah.
So thank
Yeah, how
God for
average is
Chat
that?
GPT, right? Because it's like I was doing some Rain Man math on
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
Chat
he was
GPT
knee,
the other day.
deep in some AI.
Yeah, because it was a 6% tariff increase that was line item, so it wasn't incorporated into the price, but
Yeah.
their prices are anywhere from $8 to $17.
Yeah.
And it's all over the place. So it's like if we do a 30-cent price increase across the board, this is too much, this is too little.
Yeah.
If we do this, it's not right. So then it's like, okay, well, and our pricing is a little different than yours. We do it basically by the quarter, so it's 25 cent, 50 cent, 75 cent,
Yeah.
or 95 cent on all the cigars. So to keep in line with that, it's like we got to find it. So like this cigar is going up 75 cent, but it should only be about 30. This one's going up 30 cents
Yeah.
or 25 cents, but it should be
Averages out.
60. Bane of my existence this year. This
I tell you, the one thing
my rant for the
I
day.
would tell anybody if they're opening, get into any business, like learn Excel.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
learn
yeah,
Excel.
yeah. Have a good handle on spreadsheets.
Yeah, I mean that's when we went to the 30-cent tax cap. Like I developed a custom Excel sheet so I could export my data into that, and then it would do all the math for me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here, that Schedule A. You're having to. They want you to write it all out. I'm like, nope. I just print it.
Yeah.
Here's a breakdown and
Yeah.
done. But I talked to a couple of people that are like, No, we just go line by line. I'm like, you've got 6 shops. How do you go line by line on all these, everything you've ordered? I'm like, you must spend
The time,
3 weeks
the
doing
time
that.
wasted and spent on that, you could hire an employee to do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or learn Excel.
or just learn Excel. That's right.
Or hire somebody on Fiverr.
Or hire.
Yeah, that's
somebody,
probably
what I
true,
do. I hired a guy on Fiverr to create a whole, just like punch the number in and it out and everything like that. So
I did a drag and drop. I download my report out of my point of sale. I just drop it into the Excel thing, and then it does all the calculations. It's mostly right.
yeah, mostly
I have to double check it sometimes. I'm like, oh well,
Yeah,
because ours is broken down like everything. I was
close
very,
enough for government work.
I
as
was
they
very
say.
strict. Well, yeah, but then they catch stuff. You're like, dude. Like I inverted 2 numbers one time. They're like, you owe us $300 and something in taxes. I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
And I looked at them like, these numbers are inverted. And fortunately, it was documented in my return.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay, we see it. Like, we'll waive it. But, it's like, oh, they'll catch those little things.
Yeah,
But that's what people don't understand about cigar business too. Is like how much time we have to spend like filing manual reports.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the state. Like, there's no like sales tax. You just go in there and punch it in, and they accept it. Like, we got to send paper copies and purchase orders, and do all these forms and calculations. Like, and for a small industry, they make it difficult.
Yep. Well, we just touched on one of the biggest negative things, but give me something positive that you're seeing that so far in 25 that you've really liked cigar business wise. Like I'll give you an example. We were both happy, and we talked about a previous podcast that the limited cigars took a drop this year, and we're getting cigar companies focused on core lines. Like we're big fan. I don't smoke it, but big fan of Deadwood's Dominicana.
Yeah.
Smart move, smart product in an already successful line. It was needed, did it. I like Nika Shade. I think that's great.
Yeah.
That rounds that line out. And we've seen some good core products, like things that we're going to be selling
They'll be there
all
to
the
stay.
time. Perdomo Legacy, I know you don't. You do probably don't do Legacy.
But
Yeah, but
no,
you do.
Legacy.
My Father Blue.
My Father Blue is incredible.
My Father Blue.
Nope.
Like you just said the
they just
folks who
left.
are in here. We cannot keep it in.
Not us either.
Anywhere. I mean, like we have people begging for that cigar. I think it's good personally.
I thought it was
Like
a great
Yeah, I
don't-
think it's good too.
Not what I would personally clamor all the time for, but like it may have. I can't think of a cigar that we've been carrying that's had a reaction like this one. Can you? Or you? I mean, if you had a cigar that's got this kind of reaction,
Not new like that. I mean, Legacy's done really well this year.
Legacy's done
obviously.
really well, but it's
But like from a new cigar release,
new.
we sold out the first boxes in 2 days. I'm sure
Yeah,
y'all are
that's
probably
about
the
the
same.
same way.
Got the restock. It sold out in basically 2 days, and now we're waiting on it again. Like
no cigar comes to mind that it's been a core product, because we have, limited, things like, the
I will
Tatawahe mummies are going to come in.
I will-
All those boxes are going to be gone, but that's meant
a different-
to
yeah,
do
that's-
that. Like these blues are meant to be on
I
the
will
shelf.
say New World Decenio has been really good for us this
We
year.
got to bring that in. We hadn't. I got the sample. I forgot to add it into our point of sale and
it's,
bring it in. Like
it's sold really well. It's
Yeah,
been
sold really
consistent. Not as good as the blue. Don't get me wrong, but it's been a consistent
Yeah.
reorder.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah.
I'll tell you a brand that Blue has been incredible for us. Like,
Yep.
I'm a big fan of My Father. So anything they do, like we're gonna support. But that Blue has been one of those that just to say we
rocket
can't keep.
ships. Yeah.
West Tampa has been a monster for us.
So
Like,
interesting. We've talked about it. It's probably if you're listening, it's coming soon.
Yeah,
to Pipe
West
and Pipe.
Tampa, the Devil's Crab, it came out. PCA was gonna be a limited release.
Yeah.
A little short perfecto.
Yep.
I'm so glad they made that regular production. It's still limited. Like it's still kind of
highly rated by the folks out there
cigar
too.
is phenomenal. Like,
Is it? I haven't had it yet.
Y'all have any here?
Yeah, we got a few here. Actually,
Oh, well, we'll
just
take
got
one
a-
out of here.
I think we got a box.
little recon.
I think we got a box here. We might have sold out already, but
That's all right.
But the whole West Tampa line, like we're going strong with them now. I got for my customers listening at the bottle shop, we'll have it coming in hopefully this week too to restock here. We just restocked it in Huntersville, but that line, that's probably been the best new line addition we brought in the last 2 years. I mean, like whole new everything. Like Rick Rodriguez has done a phenomenal job on
Also, one of Ethan and I's favorite characters from PCA.
that. Who's that?
The guy who
Rick
owns-
Rodriguez.
Oh, Rick, yeah.
Yeah,
Bro,
I've
bro.
never been called bro by somebody more times than that guy called me bro.
Yeah.
Even over
Eric Espinosa.
Eric Espinosa. I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah,
That'd
they
be a
rival,
good-
they rival
That'd
each
be a
other.
good bro off.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they could have a bro.
He's like, I just want you to bring in, bro. Bring in a box, bro. This could be, bro.
it'll
It could
be
just
great.
be one
It'll
box.
be great for you, bro.
I was
We're
like,
doing
bro.
great
He's
things,
like, we're
bro.
gonna do so many good things together, bro. I was like,
Yeah.
what in the hell is going on right now?
We've done well with Placencia always. Like, the
We
Alma
started
de
King
Cielo.
Placencia a year and a half ago, something like that, 2 years ago.
Doing really well in Durham.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It does well in
that's
Greensboro,
a-
don't get me
well,
wrong, but it
that's the
does-
line
it
of
does
service.
Placencia is one of those brands. Like once people realize, like I brought it in probably 2015 the first time, maybe not that long ago, maybe 2017. I don't know. We sold it okay. It didn't. I mean, I kind of just dropped it off, and then we started getting some requests for it and brought it back in, and ever since then it's been probably one of our fastest growing brands. And they don't have a huge portfolio. I mean, they
No, you can get their stuff in there pretty succinctly for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and it's all. I mean, and they've got their very rare limited stuff like the Omatep Air, the Year of the Horse that's coming out this year that always sell out fast. But like the Alma de Cielo, probably the first milder cigar they've done, and it's at a higher price point. It's definitely towards that Davidoff custom
Yep,
smoker
yep.
base. Cigar's phenomenal. Like if you, but it's kind of like telling somebody like a Padron Damaso, like this is not for your traditional,
Yep.
you know, Padron 1926
Yep.
smokers. Like Alma de Cielo is to me, it's for the guys that want that premium, like shade tobacco
Yeah.
that want, but they want a ton of flavor with it.
Yep.
So like to me, that's been a great one.
And interestingly, calling back to what we were talking about, price increases have probably benefited Placencia.
Yeah.
They're taking price increases as well, by all means, but it's
Yeah, but
moving other cigars into their air.
$1 on a $25 cigar versus $1 on a $10 cigar, from the eyes of the consumer, is
doesn't feel correct.
And I mean, it's obviously percentage wise,
But and it's
less,
also
but
pushing some cigars that
Yeah.
were a price category below them
Yeah.
up into the same price category. So now you start to think like, oh, okay, well, I'll get the Placencia then.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're all $25,
Yeah, it's kind
I'll
of a-
grab a Placencia then.
Yeah, I'm gonna get something that's going to that range.
Yeah.
Yeah, the I'm trying to think of other brands that's been the Rocky Emerald's done phenomenal for us.
Yep, that's
like
done well for us
that's
as
a
well.
solid
That's been a
medium
good
body.
cigar. They're due. We're still due for a new cigar
30.
from them, right?
Yeah,
I can
the
never
30. Yeah,
remember.
we're still waiting on that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I tell you, we do really well with Room 101. Like I like. Do you guys do anything with Matt?
do
with-
not.
with
No.
Forge? Like
We don't.
We did well with Room 101 before he sold STG Group, but like that giant tobacco nut kills it for us. Like we do. so
Really?
well
I
with
told
that
Jason
cigar.
earlier I was
It's
going to
always
grab
back
one
order
before
now.
I left.
But
Yeah, he
but
was
it's-
shopping in the
great
humidor.
cigar.
He's like, I'm gonna pick up
the
one of
Maduro's
these, one of
fantastic.
those.
The
You have
10th
it?
anniversary. I've got a sample. I'll give it to you. But y'all got to fight for it though.
Yeah, I saw that, and then the other thing that caught my eye, how's the Aladino 85th?
And the Toro sold well. Like we got a good little run on that. I love Justo. Like
Yeah,
I love the
Justo's a
Rolla
good guy.
family as a whole.
Yep.
Like Christian, I've known for a long time now. Been to that factory. Went to the CLE factory trip when Justo was starting JRE. Aladino stuff with his dad. Like, and so I got to try a lot at the beginning. Like we've always been like, we've had a good like relationship with them. So, but that 85th did very well. I mean, the Camp Aladino, the Gorbusto.
Yeah.
Pre-release, we got that, and that's a little, like nub size. Yeah,
It's a dumb name, but it's a
460.
great size.
What's it?
Gorbusto.
The Gorbusto.
Yeah.
The Gorbusto.
But like it's done very well for us.
Yeah.
So we're doing a little small event
Bless
with him
you.
on Saturday.
Yeah.
But
You got Husto coming?
no, he's not coming up for this one. Just one of the local guys that's tight with them is kind of helping us run it at the shop.
Nice.
So hopefully have Justo back up here in a few months. So then get something started with him.
He's
But,
always great to have come by.
Yeah, he's fun.
Yeah, he's great, dude.
He
Great guy.
does. He's great with people. You know,
Trying to
friendly
get him
guy.
and Christian up for an event together, like fight it out. Like
Oh, wow, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, like to put it like American Gladiator style. See what they do.
You got to
but,
have
you know,
Joel come in and drop the elbow.
Oh
all
yeah,
over.
yeah. Spotlight Scotty Brooks may come by,
brother.
Come on, brother.
pour one out for that. Lost him. Yeah. I mean, I like the actually. You guys do Eroa of the CLE stuff?
No, we used to do Aladino.
We still do Aladino.
Yeah.
But CLE, you don't do the CLE Eroa stuff.
Nah.
Their back orders are low of an issue.
We
Is
never
it-
we
Yeah.
used to back when it was before Palm. We used to carry it before he was
before
running.
Shout out David Palm.
God, we got.
I don't even
try to
remember.
remember,
man. I don't even remember.
Who was this?
Yeah, Tyler. Was it Tyler Warmerding? Was he?
I don't
still-
remember. CLE when we carried CLE because we carried the dark. The Capabanda Tripa, I think's what they call
Yeah,
it. We
the
carried
CBT.
the original
That's our best seller when we can have it.
Corojo, and then we had that PDM, which was that unbanded Corojo cigar. But it's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, but it still boils back to like what's in that humidor cell. So like if you're asking me like, oh, you should bring it in, like I can't maybe say I disagree, but it's like, what do I take out? Because it's like it has to. Not only does it have to sell, but it has to sell at least as well as what you're taking out of there to make it worth your
And it's
time
got to
and
be
effort.
available. Like
Here's a question for you. Do you carry Dunbarton?
No, we did for a little while, and we probably dropped it too soon before they really spiked off.
Or as Ethan would say, not soon enough.
Yeah.
I think they're overrated, but
Yeah, we don't
I
get a
covered
lot.
that on a hot topic or hot take podcast.
We don't get a
Really
lot of
playing
demand
this
for
flag
them.
in this corner.
We don't get quite as much demand for Dunbarton. At least I know. The stuff that we get the demand for is usually stuff I'm like I can't do anything about, like Davidoff. Like
You're right.
I'd love to be a white label account, but their parameters are so strict on that.
Yep.
Whether you agree with them or not, that's one of those that we would probably like to do, but
Yeah. But yeah, sometimes
then
you just
there's
got to
like
make the business decision. That's right. It's
Yeah,
like you
and-
can't let somebody come dominate your humidor,
especially
especially if it's something, God forbid, doesn't actually really sell.
and we could probably make the numbers work, especially at the Burkdale location. Like we have a demand for it there. We would probably make it work, but they have their requirements of like how far people can be from each other and who can carry it and how. But that's a conversation for a much deeper therapy session.
Yeah.
We'll invite Evan Carpenter up here for that one.
Oh, 11.
But speaking of shelf space and turning, like we had the Camacho display, the Stop and Shop deal, the big wide one. It was about maybe 5 foot wide years ago. And we were really strong.
I was trying to think back for a minute. We were talking
They have
about
an Ava one, a Camacho one.
Yep.
We were strong with Camacho when they first released, and eventually, we went from shelf space. We did the Stop and Shop, and it kind of just took a dive on us. And I ran the numbers, and I'll run the numbers on a humidor like it's an apartment complex. Like everything here has got so much rent it's got to pay. Like this is what we know this shelf space should turn.
Yep.
Like this is where you need to be if you're going to take up 40 feet of shelf space. Like I needed this to turn this much volume a year, and their numbers had gone down so much. And I went to them. I was like, look, guys, here's the deal. Like y'all can come take it back, or I'm going to turn it into a really cool home bar. Like this thing is going to look really good. And they're like, well, why? I'm like, here's the numbers. And that's the thing with these companies. Like you have to do is like, if you show them the numbers, like they can't argue with it. Like if you're just like, I just don't like this anymore, or somebody made me mad, they're like, well, hold on. But I'm like, here's the numbers. Like this is what you did when we just had you in boxes on the shelf. This is what we did when we went to this. You're at 35% of what you used to do. Like I got to give the shelf space back to somebody that'll turn. And I've done the same thing. Companies that come in, they're like, well, your numbers are down so much. Like, well, your numbers are down so much, not mine. Like, if you can't supply me with product, I can't turn it.
Yep.
I'm not going to keep $25,000 on back order and keep reordering.
Yeah, that's one of the most frustrating things I need to tell you. Like, well, just put 20 boxes on back order.
Yeah.
And like maybe you'll get some. It's like, hey, that is a sucky way of doing it. And then if you just happen to drop 25 boxes that I don't need on me, that's not any better.
I don't need 8 months worth of inventory. Like,
No, that's
I
how we
need
run business.
30 days at a time, maybe 60 if it's something that's a little harder.
But
But
going to go longer,
you don't because that happened multiple times during COVID. Like, all right, we kept doing that. Then all of a sudden, I don't know, if somebody refuses a shipment, they're like, oh, we can send you all 20 boxes. I'm like, well, now you just screwed my budget up for the next 2 months on product because I'm either going to discount it, or which you don't want, or I'm not going to buy anything else because all my budget for this is okay enough. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand about this business is like, man, having to constantly gauge those things. Yeah. And it's a handmade product. It's a grown, things are going to change, things are going to happen. We all understand that.
They're going to change. There's going to be some QC issues and stuff like that. That's one of the, again, I don't want to make it all negative, but that we've seen quality control has suffered in a major way with some very particular companies, in our opinion. We're not going to call them out,
but packaging changes. I mean, how many companies have oh, we're changing packaging. Well, now packaging is delayed. We can't send it for another month, 2 months. I'm like, why did you need to change? I mean, I'm on some companies. They're on their sixth rebrand in 8 years. I'm like, come on. The barcodes change, the boxes change. You go from a 20 count box to a 10 count box. I'm like, well, now you got to make double the amount of boxes, and you couldn't even give me 20 count boxes. So,
and the reality is the 10 count box costs the exact same as the 20 count box. So now the 10 count is, by doing that, you've increased the price of the cigar. So now we got to get another price increase.
Yep.
Right.
And they don't. Everybody thinks like, oh, if we go to 10-count boxes, they'll sell more. We're in an age of like a lot of consumers. I don't know about you guys. Like most of my customers don't buy boxes. Like they're mix and matching. They come in, they buy 10 of these. We have our staple guys that buy the same cigar. They'll buy 2 or 3, but like a lot of guys, they want to try new stuff, or they want mild in the morning, full in the evening,
And what I would say is it's not the person who's going to buy the 10-count box, right? So if they're box buyers, they are, hey, I've been buying this box forever.
Yeah.
It's this and this and this and over again, or it's the flavored stuff.
Yeah.
That by the box. But if you're reducing it to a 10-count box, like, oh, it's going to be more box buys, which, like,
Not necessarily good
okay,
on us.
like, would it have made a difference if you just grabbed 10 of them out of a
Yeah.
20-count box? Like, what? It's the exact same, but you just paid more for it. That's not the guy who's a box guy anyway.
Yeah.
He's not. They're not going to go like, oh, it's, I was going to get 5, 5, and 5. Instead
Yeah.
of 15, I'm just going to get this 1 10-counter. Like,
Yeah.
that's just not how it usually works.
Maybe if it's a gift purchase, maybe the
So that's what
holidays,
I was
can
going to
see
say
that.
is holiday
you
season.
purchase,
is
I buy
usually
that,
what
you
happens.
start
people-
to come down into a
People
price
are a little
point.
bit, but even still, like, if you've got a 10-count box and it's still $200, it's not really like.
I was going to
those
say, yeah,
customers
because
sell-
usually a 10-counter is usually something that's pricier.
Yeah.
You're not- there's
It's,
not
it's
many-
either a limited edition or it's Deadwoods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's-
Placencia. I mean,
Or Placencia, yeah.
Padron sells 10-count boxes and some of their stuff, but like,
Really?
okay, if you're trying to.
Padron's
yeah,
gone to
26s.
to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But
yeah.
Padron's increased box size on some things recently, right? Was something that?
No. I ordered the wrong thing. I meant to order a 10 count and ordered a 25 count.
Done that before. Ooh, that's a sticker shock.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, I got to adjust the price on these suckers.
I always tell the story. I remember like when I was first kind of like growing and starting to add Padron, I had a customer, love him to death. The older guy sitting in there, and he's got on a tank top, Marines hat. And I'm putting some Padron on. I was like, "Do you ever get the 40th?" He's like, "Oh, that's my favorite cigar." I'm not thinking anything about it. Like I'm like, "No, but I can get it." This is when you started to call like Padron. You couldn't order online, so call it in. So I'm calling my order in. I'm like, "Give me 2 Maduros, 2 Naturals." Think about it. Invoice comes a few days later. I look at this thing. It's like 20-count boxes, and it's $250 a box. I'm like, oh man. I was like, God. Fortunately, that guy happened to come in that day. He grabbed 5 out of the box that I just opened, and then took the other box. I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. I was like, this is. I was like, I still. It took me a little while the Naturals, but like
the white whale of a customer being like, oh, if you bring it in, I'll buy the box. And then they actually do it. Like,
I was
that
like,
doesn't happen very
man.
often.
I was like, but that was like that sticker shock. I saw this invoice. I'm like, speaking of having no money left,
Done messed up,
this is gone.
Ron.
So
Dang.
because everything else 50th.
Yeah.
We're all 10-count boxes. So,
Yep.
but fortunately, those are Padron guys are the guys that buy boxes. Like
Yeah.
those are the guys, and Fuente guys typically, and we're seeing that with Placencia. Like
Yeah.
those guys are guys that buy the boxes.
Yes.
like
Yep.
they're because,
Yep.
but they've been smoking that cigar for
forever.
20 years.
Perdomo guys
And, like
are
they
box
know,
buying
yeah, they're
guys.
not going to change.
For sure.
Yep. It's your legacy brands.
Yep.
No.
But yeah, the 10-count guys are the.
Yeah. Speaking of Fuente, I wanted to bring this up because I know we're starting to run long,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
want
yeah.
your opinion
All right.
on it. You saw the news about the Fuente and Marifel split.
No, actually, I didn't.
Oh,
I haven't been up to date.
boy,
I
this is
this
gonna
haven't
be
been on. I
interesting,
haven't been on
man.
This has been
social.
a topic
Okay.
for the last 4 or 5 days that we've talked about.
So
the
I
box.
haven't
let me
been-
let me pull this. So it was announced earlier this year that Fuente and Marifel were gonna. Marifel was not going to be distributing Fuente internationally anymore.
Okay.
And that was kind of all that we had heard about it. Well, Marifel came out last week
Middle
with
last
this,
week. Two different
Yep.
press releases last
with
week.
this press
I haven't
release
been on anything lately.
of. I'm pulling it up right now. Sorry.
Okay.
Of like, here's what we have to say about this. And a line in this press release. Now, mind you, for those who are listening that don't know, Fuente gets all of their Cameroon from Marifel,
Yep.
right? That's on the Don Carlos, that's on the Hemingway. Cameroon's on all of their natural stuff.
Yep.
They've always gotten it from Marifel. A line in this press release. The two families have had a history together spanning 3 generations, and Marifel is incredibly proud of what we have been able to achieve for the Fuente family. Unfortunately, Fuente and Marifel have ceased trading together. We are disappointed and saddened by this, and it brings an important chapter in our esteemed history to a close.
And then there's been a couple follow-up articles, including
Yeah,
Halfwell,
so Halfwell wrote
kind of
one.
emphasizing that it was
It's not just
not
distribution.
it's not an amicable split.
Yeah.
People are mad at each other.
When that one little burn line of what we've done for them.
Oh, and
was,
that was just
there's a whole
segment.
thing.
Yeah,
There's a
there's
whole
a
paragraph.
segment
Whole
of
thing.
how
of like how it's not just been money, it's been like time and
money,
effort
energy,
by us.
employees. To
Yeah,
increase.
that's that will make things interesting. I would imagine that Fuente has a plan that for something along the lines, because for that be, I mean, I think Fuente's one of the most well-known cigar companies, but they're not one of the biggest by far. Like they make a lot of cigars, but they are, in the terms of the cigar industry now. You look at Drew Estate, STG, Altadas, even Rocky, like those. They make a lot of cigars. Fuente he's focused. He's always been focused on making really great cigars and doing it right, and that's what I respect about them. So I would imagine that they are making a change to this magnitude. They have something planned, hopefully.
So that's the hopefully is the big
The
thing,
hopefully
right?
is the big thing because you're taking out from the biggest. I mean, almost the only producer of Cameroon.
yeah,
in
Yeah,
and
Canada.
Fuente bought 80% of it.
Yeah.
From at least that's a number I've heard before. Is Fuente buys 80% of the Marifel Cameroon. I don't know who bought the rest. I guess my question is, one, what are they going to do? Because Dominican Cameroon, if they're growing Cameroon in the Dominican Republic,
Yeah, it's just like
it's not going to be the same.
just like
right?
Ecuadorian grown or yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, no, that's the same though. Yeah,
Correct. Two, who is going to buy the Cameroon from Marifel then? Because if I am STG or Altadis or somebody like that, I'm now chomping at the bits to say, I'm going to buy all
Maybe
your Cameroon.
Maybe get a lot more Bacas now.
That would be wonderful. But like, could you imagine if now,
that void.
Altadis has a Monte Cristo Cameroon or a Romeo Cameroon that's got Marifel
Well, I see
Cameroon in it?
What was the CAO Cameroon? Didn't they use authentic Cameroon?
Maybe. I don't remember.
But even still, I mean, it wasn't big enough. I mean, they could 20% of what they had left.
And
could still make
something
that
the Halfwell article pointed out was that Fuente prides themselves in having years and years worth of tobacco,
Yeah.
and I believe that. But what happens when it runs out? Because I mean, I would argue personally that the Hemingway line is probably their most important line.
Yeah.
Outside of Opus, which I don't really count that because it's limited, right?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if that Hemingway line changes and you've got someone that's been smoking that cigar for 30 or 40 years, they're going to know that it's changed. I was texting my friend about it, Mike, the Casa guy, and I was like, man, this feels like a big deal, and nobody's like really talking about it. And he was like, oh, it's a massive deal. And I was like, yeah, okay, all right. I'm glad we're on the same page,
Yeah.
and we've been talking about it, so I wanted to get your opinion on
Well,
it.
yeah, it's funny because you change a blend like that. I had when Diamond Crown changed their packaging. They went from the 15 to the 20 count boxes and redid their packaging. My one of my top customers who only smokes Diamond Crown number 4s, he called me irate. He's like, what's with this cigar? He's like, one, why is it more expensive? Because his assistant usually buys it. And he's like, this is a different cigar completely. And I swear I was going to have to get a signed letter from Fuente to convince him that it's the same blend.
Nothing has changed.
I'm talking to the rep. I'm like, look, this is a big deal for both of us. He's not happy. Like, you got to figure out some way to explain to me, get me how I can explain, it is the same cigar. All they did was change the packaging.
Yeah.
And but I mean, that's how customers are. Once they know something's different, they'll recognize it. And especially Fuente guys that's what they smoke.
Fuente guys are like Padron guys.
Yeah, Fuente, Padron. I'd say Fuente, Padron, and Davidoff are probably the only three that have that consistent, that's what they smoke.
Yes.
They've been smoking it. It's the same cigar for the last 25 years or longer, and they're not going to change. But yeah, that'll be a big deal.
Yeah.
But like I said, companies I feel like Fuente is usually probably strategic enough that they have something
You would hope
in
so.
mind.
You would
Or
hope
it's a
so.
really
Or it could
strong
be the biggest
negotiating.
misstep of
Yeah,
all time.
or a really strong negotiating tactic. So
Yeah.
because both stand to lose a lot if it goes,
Yeah. For
Yeah,
sure.
and that's it is interesting to think about. Marifel has just recently come out with cigars.
Yeah.
You can't get them. At least I don't know where to order them from. I don't.
It's
know.
funny because
expensive.
Half Wheel just announced their newest one.
Yeah,
the day
expensive.
after.
They're really
And they're
expensive.
expensive
Oh,
as
yeah, they're
shit.
very expensive. Yeah.
And so you would think they're obviously going to be hurt by Fuente not buying this tobacco. Now they have a market for it because they've grown the name because of their wrapper leaf on Fuente. So I don't think they're going to have a problem selling it.
Yeah, I gotta
But, like,
imagine it may be split amongst 8 companies now versus one company buying 80%.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will jump in on it, but at the same time too, like now it's kind of like like we talked about earlier. Like I'd like to, it'd be nice to have just 50 good customers buy the same thing all the time. Like now you're trying to sell. Okay, you got to sell a little bit to here, sell a little bit here. All the prices are going to be different. We're like, you negotiate a contract out with Fuente. This is a price. Like we have this.
Yeah, you can take that lower price.
They're going to buy all of it. Like there's not going to be an issue. As opposed to like, okay, well, this company can take 20%. This company wants 40. This one wants 60. This one wants, and then now you're in this whole. Hey, it creates a lot more work on them too.
Oh
so,
more moving parts. More things to go wrong.
But I'll have to read the article because I've been so busy lately. I haven't really followed any kind of news on.
I feel like that's really the only big thing you've really missed in the cigar industry, anyways.
Except for local, you get the local shop drama. I always get to hear.
Oh
all that kind of stuff,
that's right.
Yeah. But even still, I've been so busy. I don't even get to talk to reps or customers to find out what'd you guys hear about this.
Oh yeah,
I know you guys.
We get.
Speaking of that, I got a little tea for you when this podcast.
Oh, okay, good.
Get the gossip reps going.
Here's some good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, appreciate you doing this.
Yeah,
the shop looks
absolutely.
awesome.
Thank you.
Let me get you out of here in this. Give for the tens of thousands of viewers out here.
Yeah.
Give us the 30-second Burners commercial pitch. Addresses, where everything's at. Give it to me.
All right. So we're sitting in Burner's Bottle Shop. We're at 5823 Prosperity Crossing Drive, Charlotte, North Carolina. We're a full-stocked humidor and a pretty well-stocked beer and wine shop. We're still growing. We've got an outdoor patio to enjoy your cigars here. Indoors, bring the non-smokers and the wives that want to, or husbands that don't want to smoke and enjoy a glass of wine or a cold beer. Burner Cigar Shop in Burkdale Village. We've been there now for almost 15 years. Full cigar lounge on the inside, very well-stocked humidor. And our Denver location at 1249 North Highway 16 business, Denver, North Carolina, 28031. And that's not right. 280.
Yeah, just
don't quote the zip code. We've got a great walk-in humidor, great staff there, know very well stocked. Come visit us, pick up your cigars for the weekend or the week or every day.
There you go, man. If you're not,
Thank you, guys.
if you're not shopping at the Pipe and Pint, which we encourage you to do,
if you go to Greensboro,
this is your next best option.
Visit our friends.
It's a distant second. But it is
They'll honor all our discounts.
We appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you, brother.
absolutely appreciate
Always.
you.
Appreciate
Pleasure.
it, everybody.
Yeah, between two burns, yeah, between two burns. Come and join the convo. Jason and Ethan here to talk, yo. Chillin' while we filling up the room with cigar smoke. Hey, between two burns, yeah, between two burns. This be the show that you like. We always keeping it hype. We got cigars and a mic, talking the pipe and the pint. Let's go.